Accession. Accession refers to the legal principle that anything permanently attached to a piece of real property becomes part of that property. It includes improvements, additions, or alterations made to the property that become a permanent part of it. Accretion. Accretion is the gradual increase of land area through natural forces, such as the deposition of soil or sediment by water bodies like rivers or oceans. The landowner gains ownership of the added land through this process. Air rights. Air rights are the legal rights to use the space above a property, typically extending to the sky. These rights allow the property owner to control the use and development of the airspace above their land, subject to local zoning regulations and airspace restrictions. Annexation. Annexation involves converting personal property into real property by attaching it permanently to land or a structure. For example, installing a built-in bookshelf would annex the bookshelf to the real property. Appurtenance. An appurtenance is a right or privilege that belongs to and passes with the ownership of real property, even if not physically attached to the land. Common examples include easements, rights of way, and water rights. Area preference. Area preference, also known as location preference, is the value that individuals place on a specific location due to its proximity to desirable amenities, services, or natural features. It affects the market value of real property. Evulsion. Evulsion is the sudden and significant loss of land due to a violent act of nature, such as a flood or earthquake. Unlike accretion, the landowner does not gain ownership of the lost land, as it is typically carried away to another location. Bundle of legal rights. The bundle of legal rights represents the various rights associated with owning real property. These rights include the right to possess, use, transfer, exclude others, and enjoy the property. Property ownership is often described as owning this bundle of rights. Chattel. Chattel refers to personal property, which includes movable items or possessions that are not permanently attached to real property. Emblements. Emblements are crops or plants that are considered personal property and are cultivated annually by a tenant. Even if the tenant's lease ends, they are entitled to harvest and remove the crops they planted. Erosion. Erosion is the gradual wearing away of land by natural forces like water, wind, or ice. It can result in a loss of land and may raise concerns about property boundaries. Fixture. A fixture is personal property that has become permanently attached to real property, making it part of the real estate. Examples include built-in appliances or lighting fixtures. Improvement. An improvement refers to any addition or modification made to real property that increases its value, utility, or desirability. This could include building structures, landscaping, or renovations. Land. Land is the surface of the earth, including soil, rocks, minerals, and other natural resources. It also encompasses the airspace above and the ground below the surface to a reasonable depth. Littoral rights. Littoral rights are the legal rights of a landowner whose property borders a navigable body of water, such as a lake or sea. These rights generally include access to and use of the water but are subject to state laws and regulations. Manufactured housing. Manufactured housing refers to dwellings that are built in a factory and then transported to a site for installation. They are commonly known as mobile homes or prefabricated homes. Non-homogeneity. Non-homogeneity refers to the uniqueness of each parcel of real estate. No two parcels of land are exactly alike, and various factors contribute to their distinct characteristics. Personal property. Personal property includes movable possessions that are not considered part of the real property. Examples include furniture, vehicles, and personal belongings. Prior appropriation. Prior appropriation is a system of water rights allocation where the first person or entity to use water from a water source has the right to continue using it, regardless of land ownership. Real estate. Real estate is a broad term that encompasses land, buildings, and improvements on the land, including natural resources and various property rights associated with it. Real property. Real property includes land, improvements on the land, and the associated legal rights that come with ownership, such as air rights, water rights, and mineral rights. Riparian rights. Riparian rights are the legal rights of a landowner whose property borders a river, stream, or other watercourse. These rights typically include access to and use of the water flowing through or past their property. Severance. Severance is the process of converting real property into personal property by detaching it from the land. For example, cutting down a tree and removing it from the property severs it from the real estate. Situs. Situs refers to the location or site of a particular piece of real estate. It encompasses not only the physical location but also the economic and social factors that affect the property's value and desirability. Subsurface rights. Subsurface rights are the legal rights to resources located beneath the surface of the land, such as minerals, oil, gas, or groundwater. These rights can be sold or leased separately from the surface rights. Surface rights. Surface rights refer to the legal rights to the surface of the land, including the right to use, develop, and control the property's surface. They are typically associated with the rights to build, farm, or conduct other activities on the land. Trade fixture. A trade fixture is a piece of equipment or property that a tenant installs for business purposes. Unlike regular fixtures, trade fixtures can be removed by the tenant at the end of the lease. Water rights. Water rights are legal rights to use the water from a specific water source, such as a river, lake, or aquifer. These rights can be complex and may involve government regulations and allocation systems.